Call it idyllic, even old-fashioned. For the month of November, my next guest has been focusing on finding contentment and gratitude at home. It sounds like a home life that maybe plays out like a 50s television show, but it's something I want to embrace and celebrate as well. So we called on Cami Packer to learn more. It's always so great to have you, sister.
It's nice to be here.
So you use a term very readily that some women may have discarded or filed away in the old-fashioned vocabulary list, and that is homemaking.
I love the term homemaking.
I do too. Tell me how you view this term homemaking.
Well, I think we're all homemakers. If we have a home, you're a homemaker. I view homemaking as cultivating a climate where growth can happen. And November is such a great time to just focus in. We're settling in our homes. We're getting ready to spend lots of quality time in our homes. And so I think November is the ultimate month of homemaking.
I want to pinpoint that definition again. Cultivating
a climate where growth can happen.
Where growth can happen. And you're right, November is swallowed up in opportunities to do that and to embrace that. You're going to help us do that today. We want to peek inside your heart, really, is what we want to do, giving us 7 ways to cultivate the feeling of gratitude and contentment at home. First, you're encouraging us to embrace the season.
Yes. Whenever season it is, I want it to reflect in my home. So I love, this season, I love to have like a crock full of candles that we're going to use at dinner. A vase full of wheat that just reminds us that we had a great harvest. I like to put a little jar of popcorn kernels on the counter, just ready for those movie nights, a basket of warm blankets. I love to put out things that we're actually going to use. I think that is what makes a home feel alive, is that we have things not displayed just to look at and to be a showpiece, but to actually use as we cultivate our relationships.
I love that. So that basket of blankets is lovely to look at, but it's ready for the use.
Yes.
And to think of having a crock of candles sitting around that you can grab and burn at any time, really you're setting yourself up for this, which is thoughtful, right? You're thoughtfully preparing for what's going to happen.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what homemaking is.
That's what homemaking is. You're encouraging us this season to bring back hospitality.
Yes.
How can we do that?
We just don't hear the word hospitality very much anymore, but I think we shouldn't wait for our home to be perfect in order to invite someone in. Hospitality is welcoming someone into your life and into your home and asking them, like, what's your story? I want to get to know you better. And so it's nice to have a little plate of cookies and maybe a little cup of cider, but the most important thing is building relationships, getting to know a person, welcoming them into your home. And I think of the most cherished conversations I've had they've been around the table of a loved one or a friend, and they really blessed my life and made me feel so grateful that I can do that for someone else too, invite someone else into my home.
So be in the mindset to open that door and open your heart.
Welcome to our home.
And it's interesting, November, it even stretches into December. It is the time of year where you can expect a drop-by visitor.
Yes.
Which we don't get that anymore, January to October. So it's good practice and it's a good time to extend and flex in that space.
Yes, I love that.
I love that encouragement. You want us to set the scene for connection.
Yes.
How do we do that?
I think one of my favorite roles as a homemaker is setting the scene. And so for me, I think it's as easy as putting candles on the table, inviting everyone to linger a little bit longer after dinner and chat, a basket of books by the fireplace, inviting someone to just go sit down, pick up a book, read,
Again, it's accessible, it's right there.
It's
just
right there.
Grab and cuddle and go.
Yes, yes. And a little basket of games. We've got a little boy who loves playing games. It's nice to just have that right there.
I love how you talk about candles. We've touched on that twice now. Are you lighting candles?
I light candles every night, even if we're having sandwiches. You know, it just makes those dark hours feel so special.
So dinner table, there's candles.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I bet people linger a little longer
They
too.
do. If you have a teenage boy, they love lighting the candles.
It's part of the fun.
Yes.
All right, create rather than consume. Explain this philosophy.
I think one of the reasons why we're kind of less fulfilled in a lot of ways than past generations is that we tend to consume rather than create. And I think there's such a joy that comes and an energy that comes from creating something that didn't exist before. And I think beauty really does matter. And even beauty can be anything from a pot of soup on the stove, to a loaf of bread, to just a shelf that you look at and think, I love that shelf. I love those things on my shelf. It can be setting a chair up by a cozy corner. I like to put mine by a sunny corner this time of year. Just put it by the sunniest corner.
We need all the vitamin D we can get.
Yes. Just sit there for a few minutes in the afternoon and be recharged.
Create rather than consume. And isn't that interesting? I'm going to be thinking on what you just said, that where is our fulfillment going, or where is our fulfillment coming from? We had a chef in the kitchen yesterday that was encouraging us dish after dish to make it. Make the cranberry sauce. Make the sweet potatoes. And I thought of that. It's a month of food, and why not take that time to create something special?
There is a fulfillment that comes from that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, look to the past. How does this help you feel more grateful?
I love to look at the past. I love to it helps me remind me where I came from. And I like to put out little pictures of maybe grandparents and think, I felt so welcome and loved in their home, and I want my kids to feel that way. I want anyone who enters my home to feel that way too. And so just these little reminders that help me remember the past. I love to hang an apron up in my kitchen, and it reminds me of the work that women do in our homes. It really is what makes the world go round. And when I tie on my apron, I think, I have an important job to do. People I love are counting on me, and I'm going to give it my very best.
Oh, Cami, your expressions are so beautiful. I love this. I'm lapping it up. Appreciate what you have is your next point of reminder. And it is a month where we're focusing on gratitude, but I see you doing this year round, sinking into what's around you and knowing it's enough.
Yes, it is. And I think the key to appreciation is taking care of what we have.
Yeah.
Without thinking, oh, well, I don't have that designer kitchen, or I don't have that new sofa. When we take care of what we have and give it all of our energy, we feel gratitude for it. And I think the most special homes are the ones that are appreciated. That's what makes it special. It doesn't matter how big or fancy or grand it is. If it's appreciated and cared for, that's the home that I want to linger in. I want to go there. I just want to feel that, soak that up.
It's a stroke of care.
Yes.
I'm going to tell a silly story. I remember the first time I came to my first big photo shoot here at Studio 5, and I brought my favorite dress, and it dropped on the floor, and the stylist who was getting ready for the photo shoot was fluffing around, and she, in horror, scooped up my dress and started to steam it and fluff it and take care of it. And in my head, I'm thinking, I wonder if she knows that dress is from Walmart. Doesn't matter,
my goodness,
because
yes.
the care is what makes something feel special.
Yes.
That's what I hear you saying in all of these tokens, like how we care for items,
Yeah.
they become more appreciated and feel more special.
Yeah. Even a stack of towels can be beautiful
Yes.
if you've taken the time to fold it nicely.
If you appreciate it. Okay, finally, document the joy. How are you doing
I think that is just such a fun way to, you can do a Google Doc, upload pictures, and just document those little moments you see around your home, or you can share it on social media, or just write it in a journal. Just notice it, be grateful, be in that moment and say, that was beautiful and I'm grateful for it.
You've been doing this weekly. You're highlighting little snips and snaps around your home that bring you contentment and joy. What has it done for you personally?
It just helps me look out for those things.
Yeah.
It helps me look back on the things like, well, my life is hard, but it's actually really great too.
Yeah. All right. Cami, we adore you. Thank you so much. Where can we see more of these sentiments and philosophies?
I'm just on Instagram at Camilla J. Packer.
I want Cami to write a book is my next push because I think her words are so meaningful and important. So thank you for sharing them with us today.